This is Gippsland FM, your community connection, the place where we connect, where your home is, where your family is. This is Latrobe City, a beautiful place to be. And today, well, there's a little bit overcast. It is not quite nice out there at the moment. Top of 22 tomorrow. A little bit less clouds, so the sun will be peeking through, and it will be 23 as a maximum after a low of 10, and then later in the week it'll be a bit cloudy. This is Business, Wealth and Mental Health, a show that explores how thriving businesses, wise financial management and peaceful relationships are good for your mental health. And today, again, I've got back in the studio Mr. Chris Dunn, Mr. Papa Bear himself from Three Bears Barbecue. Chris, how are you today?
Good, thanks, Damien. Yourself?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. And you've been really, really active and really busy. On top of you work full time, You run a business, fantastic foodie business with beautiful slow cooked meat. And you also now have a community market again on the garden. Tell us a bit about the market. Where did that come from?
So obviously this weekend we're hosting our community Christmas market. But the idea started back in 2022 where we decided to have a Father's Day market to get the people out post-COVID. So get back out in the community and enjoy some friends and family and just enjoy what we've got in this great place we live in.
It is a great place, and one thing I think people don't understand is how much work goes into it. But you started a market, and for people that remember, 2022 was coming out of some lockdown periods, a bit of COVID, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you've taken that on board to start a market coming out of that. That would have been pretty horrendous, wouldn't it?
It was pretty daunting once I started getting into it.
So was it just one of those things where you said, this is a good idea, and then a couple of weeks in, you're going, what the hell am I doing?
Pretty much. And I still say that today.
Yeah.
But
why did you want to do that?
Well, initially, post-COVID, so everyone's locked up. We had some of the toughest restrictions in Victoria.
In the world.
In the world. And I just wanted to see people back out again. I enjoy getting out with my family, and we wanted to put something on for the community to try and get people back out and start enjoying themselves. So I think the first market we had was 11 stalls and a car show. That was on Father's Day. Now we're at 50 plus stalls. So,
but again, what is it? Because it is. I don't think people really realise how much work goes into it. Tell us a bit about that work. And I really want to highlight that for people listening as well, because there's so many people out in our communities that are doing fantastic things to make it as wonderful as it is. And I think people would appreciate what we have, but they don't understand the depth of work that goes into making it happen. Tell us a bit about what you actually have to do. Because you're working full time, You're running an awesome business part time, and then you're deciding, I'm not going to put my feet up and watch the telly with my family. I'm going to make my family go and do stuff. So tell us about what actually goes into it.
All right. So initially, I approached council about holding an event, a public event. And they get back to you and give you some guidelines, some help. So just to anyone out there, it's a big risk assessment just on the day. You work through that with them.
So with a risk assessment, so you're working out, okay, what are the potential things that could go wrong, and you're doing this in advance. So this is not on the day you work it out. You've got to plan.
Yeah. So it's quite a large risk assessment because you've got to cover any event that could happen on the day. So back when it was post-COVID, it had to do with lockdowns. So that was one of our key factors in there.
So you could organise the market and you get locked down and everyone has to do something. Is that?
Yeah, we have to shut it back down again or spread people out further or that sort of thing. So
what other things that you have to consider?
Heat policy. So our last market on Labor Day, that was a 40-degree day. I had to actually enforce the heat policy. So we moved our market forward in the day. We made sure all the vendors had plenty of water, that sort of thing.
So heat policy is something you actually had to draft beforehand as well?
Yep.
Did our council help with that as well?
Yeah, they help me with that. You've got to have an evacuation plan if anything does go wrong, which they guide me through that. There's some other little bits and pieces. Insurance is another one that I have to have just solely for the market.
And you have to pay for that yourself?
Yes, that's right. Yep. So it's another cost added.
So this is where I really want to highlight, because you're giving of yourself to make this happen, and it's, there's a lot of people doing this, and really wanted to underscore how important that is. So you're actually stumping up the insurance cost yourself.
Yep.
And hopefully make that back on the stall fees or something like that.
Yep. So the stall fees help cover some of the costs on the day. We also have live music, so that's another cost involved. And then there's little bits and pieces that come along the way. So we sort of on the start of the day we are sort of break even with the costs that and the stalls that we have come in.
So you're putting in all this effort.
Yep.
And you get to the start of the day. It's not, you're not making a big profit. You're breaking even at the start of the day.
That doesn't include my time.
And that doesn't include your time as well. No. So it's really a big community thing. So what is it drives you to want to do that then?
I don't know. I guess this area could have a whole heap of community events go on, and I guess I have a bit of a drive in my belly on trying to get that started and give people ideas on what to do. I know there's another business in another shire, and they've taken it on board, and they're doing markets and events as well. So it sort of builds momentum and sort of gets people thinking, I might have a crack. So.
And it does bring people to the region as well. I mean, we have people, I know the last market you had was huge.
Yep.
And there's some reasons we won't talk about that, but it was huge. And there was a lot
Yep.
of people coming in from outside of the region that get to see where we're going. Is that part of your motivation as well?
Oh, for sure. Like, where we are, you'll come around the corner and you go, where's this market? We're in a little industrial zone. It's probably not the ideal setting, but once you've been to the market, then you can venture out into town and you go to the parks and that sort of thing. And we really do have a lot to offer here.
So part of that motivation is really that community spirit. You're talking about inspiring others. Have you noticed other people take that on board?
I've noticed I sort of keep a broad watch on what's going on. Some people have taken it on board and sort of follow what we do. Other people will approach me and ask, how do I get something off the ground? Or they'll even offer to help with our market. So try and get a committee together or something like that. So,
is that part of that drive, is to really tap into and give people that forum to get out and about?
Yeah. It's definitely get out and about. Like, our kids are like, lots of kids these days are on their games and at home. There's heaps to see and do in Latrobe City. So
there's massive amounts to see and do. What about the family aspect? Because you got yourself, Papa Bear, then Maria, your wife is Mama Bear, and you got your two sons. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Spencer and Dawson. So they'll be there on the day, and then
how does that dynamic work for a family as well? Because again, you're working full time. Maria, I know she helps in the business and no doubt has other things in her life as well, and the kids got school.
Yep.
How do you balance that and get that all organised?
So I try and do a lot of the market prep when the kids are at school or gone to bed late at night, so then I can devote more time to them. That's I find I have to manage my time almost to the minute each day. Like, I'm very busy just getting everything organised. So I try and devote most of my time when they're home to them, and then come the business time that they're involved in that. They work in the shop. They'll be there on market day. So
is it a way of connecting as a family as well?
I think it is, and I've actually watched them this year, the two boys, from the start of the year to now, and their confidence has just grown in just being public speakers and just walking down the street and holding their head up high.
So this is a positive thing for your family, but also, do you find other people see that as well in your kids and go, well, that's pretty cool?
Oh, for sure. We get plenty of comments and stuff like that on how the kids are and how they convey themselves, and it's a really good feeling. So.
Yeah, well, I noticed that when I come into the shop, and they're right on there. This is the amount. Pay now.
Yeah, they're pretty switched on. They always try the upsell.
So tell us about this market you've got coming up. You've had some really cool and different variety of things, but what is the key aspects? Obviously, you're focusing on Christmas, and there's a special guy coming as well.
Yeah, we have a special guest turning up, possibly on the back of a old fire engine. He'll be dressed in a red suit, so 1 p.m. on Sunday. There'll be a special guest turn up, so look out for that, and that'll bring some excitement from the kids.
And what else is happening? You got the band there as well?
Yeah,
What's the band?
Loose Peggy is the band, local band. First time we've had them. So excited to hear what they got to play. They'll be on the back of a truck. So, yeah, should be really cool. And then we've got plenty of food vendors and lots of market stalls.
So you've got over 50 stalls as well?
Yeah, 50 plus stalls, which includes the food. So we've got the Morley Scout group. They're doing the sausage sizzle. So
okay.
Community group there. Gippsland Baked Spards. We have Big Bear's Donuts.
Is that a competition between Three Bears Barbecue?
No, it's funny. Like, we work closely with them, and they started.
Well, it's complimentary, isn't it?
It is.
You've got the main course, they've got the dessert.
Yeah, so it works well, but yeah, they're bringing the sweets, and they do a good job. Who else we got? Oh, that charcoal meat guy. So he's another one that does low and slow meats.
Yeah.
Who else we have? We've got El Cappuccino as our coffee cart.
Yep. Got to get that coffee in to get things going. Yeah.
Got to get the coffee in. Who else? We've got a couple others.
So there's a lot of stalls coming. There's a lot of people coming. Do you get, because you've got quite a big following on social media as well?
Yeah.
How did that happen? Is it something that just came, or is it you built it up? How?
That was a lot of hard work, and it still is to this day. The time we put in for our social media each and every day to keep it active. So that page initially started off as a barbecue blog page.
Yeah.
And it grew from there. So just friends and family. And then we had some people say, oh, can you cook us some food? Yeah, no worries. And it just exploded from that, just doing a couple of little jobs.
Because if I understand correctly, if I remember, your business started at home. Yeah. Was that part of the marketing that you used for the business?
That is the only marketing we really use is social media.
Yeah. And is that paid or just organic?
Organic.
Yeah.
Fully organic.
So you just go, here, check out this tasty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then just get people to share.
How many you got? Like 60,000 or something?
I'm not sure at the moment. I'm not sure.
It's a lot.
Yeah, there's quite a big following, and it blows me away when I look at it sometimes. I go, geez, where are all these people from? So,
but a lot of people want to do that, and don't seem to do it. But it seems like when I look at the stuff that you put out, it's very authentic. Was that a plan, or is it just what you did naturally?
I think, yeah, that was just what we did naturally. We just, we've got nothing to hide. This is our food. This is how we serve it up.
Yeah.
Come and try it.
Come and try it, and they did.
If you like, you come back. So
yeah. What is some of the lessons that you learned that you're going, well, I wouldn't do that again?
Oh, there's been jobs that we've done, and you think you're going to have a great day, and you don't.
Yeah.
So we're a bit selective now on where we go and what we serve up. I found if we serve the same menu every week, that people get bored of it.
Yeah.
So there's one lesson definitely we've learned. We try and mix it up each week. Yeah, where we're based, you try and rely on that tradie crowd.
Yeah.
During the week.
It's very wholesome food, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if they get much work done after they've had a feed from us. So
I had that the other night when I came in, and it was like I went home and I was eating out on the deck because it was a nice night, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to do anything for the rest of the night.
Yeah, yeah. So you get good value for money. Or I hope.
100%.
I hope people think you get value for money. But yeah, there's a lot of time that goes into our food.
How do you balance that life again? I mean, because you're working full time.
Yeah, so I'm shift worker, so I know my roster 12 months in advance. So on the days off that are rostered in, then I'll say, right, now we're going to plan to do this, this, and this. So
yeah,
that's how I manage our time. And then,
what is your driver though? You're a shift worker, so you're working nights as well.
Yep.
So you're quite busy, and that's I know my dad was a shift worker, and I remember what that was like. So it does take its toll.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people like that. But you do that. How do you? And then you've got the business, which takes a lot of your time, and I'm assuming you're profitable, but I don't see you driving around in a golden Rolls Royce or anything like that. So you're doing okay, but
yep.
yeah. And then on top of that, you're organising community markets, there's challenges to do with that, and you're getting some support from the council, and it looks like there's been some changes, and there seems to be a bit more support coming, which is great, but it's still a lot of effort. What is it really that drives? Because not everyone does that. What is it that drives you to want to do that? Where does that come from?
I guess I don't like sitting still. I've always got.
You've never been tested though, have you?
I've always got to be doing something, but I don't know. I just find that our business and doing these markets can produce other things that can follow on. We can have some huge events if people have the ideas, and there's plenty of spaces to do it as well.
But again, what is it? Because I get the not wanting to sit still. I suffer from that myself, you know.
Yeah.
But what I want to understand is, because you could do lots of different things. You could do a whole bunch of stuff in the garage for yourself, but you're actually putting yourself out there for the community. What is it? Where does that come from? What do you get out of it?
I don't get. I just get the satisfaction of the people on the day. Like they're just walking around, they're smiling, they're coming up and saying, "Oh, you do a good job." You get some recognition from it, but that's not what I do it for. It's just solely just to get people out. And it doesn't matter if who you are, where you're from, what your background is.
What does that feel like though? Because I mean, and I really want people to understand this, because I think I get it, because I understand that feeling.
Yeah.
And it's I've done some myself, bought some very expensive things because I was able to.
Yep.
Done some, had private helicopters fly me around, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But that doesn't compare to that feeling that you're talking about.
Oh,
Just tell us about that. What is it? Because I don't know that everyone gets that.
No, it's a hard feeling to explain. It's a good feeling. It's humbling.
Humbling's a good word.
Yeah, very humbling, and not just our whole family are humbled by it. The people come up to the kids and say, "Oh, you're doing a good job," and "Oh, this is fantastic," and even their kids from their mates from school, they come along and they love it. So it's a very humbling feeling. But when you have someone come up and tell you you're doing a good job, it's pretty special. So
yeah, because that's what I really wanted to explore, because I think there's some people out. I think quite a few people do understand. I think some people they question, why are you doing it, thinking there's some ulterior motive.
Yeah.
But that's not the case, is it?
No.
You're not doing it for profit.
No. At the end of the day, we are just another stall.
Yeah.
At the market. Yes, we have the building, but we are essentially just another food vendor at a market.
So tell us about, at the end of the day.
Yep.
Where and I know I'm relaying this because we have done a couple of rubbish pickups in Maui.
Yep.
And everyone there doing that was just going, this feels amazing.
Yep.
And we left feeling really amazing. So tell us about the end of the day. You've had this successful market.
Yep.
What does that feel like, and for you and as a family?
Fantastic, because majority of the stall holders will come up and say, this market was one of the best we've ever been to. To have the support from the community to come and support those 50 businesses is fantastic. So we get it from them, and that's helping their families, and then you get it from the people that turn up. So just to have that feeling at the end of the day, what we accomplished, and maybe we do another one.
So it's kind of like that thing where you're leading up to, you go, what the hell am I doing?
Yep.
And then at the end of the day, you're going, wow. Is that?
That is, because all the stalls, they'll say, oh, when's the next one? When's the next one?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, let me have a break first. So I have a rest.
I've got a hangover to recover from.
Yeah. But when you get all those people saying that to you, you know you've put on a good event. So, and the council have conveyed that back and said, your events are fantastic.
Yeah. So how can we do that? And I know there has been a change in the council, and I've talked to a number of people within the council, and they've said they do want to help more. What are things that they could do? Because I know there's a lot of people within the council that are very supportive, and they want to do. They want good things for the region, and whatever's been in the past is the past. What could they, what could actually help make this better, not just for your events, but for community events as a whole?
I think possibly one of the things for us is traffic management.
Yeah.
Possibly help out with that. Little bits and pieces. The process, once you do it once, is fairly straightforward the next time, but you sort of got to work through that first one.
So a little bit more sort of guidance and we're talking about other people, because what we've got is there's a lot of community buildings, community sites, parks, those kind of things.
Yep.
And if people want that giver's high, I'm going to call it, that you get at the end of the day, and to encourage them to get out there and do that as well, would it be better to have some sort of like someone to guide that as well?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I've looked at holding events in other areas in Morwell, and I got a little bit too hard with some of the red tape. And I guess that's in every council. But if
I mean, it's fair enough that people have got. I mean, the council's got an overarching responsibility to look after the community, so things have to be done properly.
Yeah.
I guess what we're getting to is there anything specific that could help make that process easier? Like you said, you did it once, and then you understood that process better.
Yeah.
And if we're wanting to encourage other people to come out and do these things as well, because I, maybe like yourself, have this thing where if you had regular community events happening, how many more people would it bring to the region?
That's right. I think maybe they could bring out a checklist, like events checklist, and try not to scare people off, because when you find out what is involved, sometimes
pretty daunting.
Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Why am I, and what's going to happen at the end?
Kind of like a mentoring person, maybe, or coach. I don't know if that's the right word.
Someone that you can sort of liaise with and help you through it, I guess. That would be some support officer or something like that.
I like that term, support officer.
Yeah.
Because it's got an official sound to it as well, but it's kind of friendly. It's not scary.
Yeah. There is an events team that do help, and they've been great.
And we're not dissing the council.
No, for sure.
Because it's a hard job as well.
But just to initially break through that barrier of with your ideas and what's involved, I think possibly they could have someone to guide you.
Yeah. And what have you got planned for after this one? Have you got,
I haven't got anything at the moment.
As in, no, I mean, at the end of the day.
Oh, at the end of the day, a few beers, I think.
A few beers, just relax.
No, so we'll finish up on the Sunday, and then the following week we're fairly busy with Christmas functions.
Because you've also, tell us a bit now, before we wind up the show, we've got about 5 minutes to go. Yeah. What have you got on as Three Bears Barbecue for people for Christmas?
So we're doing a couple of functions the following week, and then the last week we'll be closed on the 20th, and then after that we're doing hams. Yeah. So we're smoking and glazing hams.
Oh, wow.
And then we also have offered...
I'm already starting to diet.
Yeah. Christmas Day pickup. This is our first time we've done this. We're supplying whole beef briskets and pork scotches, and they're hot, ready to eat Christmas Day, so you don't even have to cook.
Oh, so what you've got is a Christmas Day pickup for... Tell us again.
Yep. So for whole briskets and pork scotch, pulled pork. So people have pre-ordered those, and they'll pick them up Christmas morning.
What are the serving sizes of those? Where we?
So we're looking at the briskets around 4.5 kilos cooked. Yeah. So that would feed 20.
Yeah. Well, wow, decent Christmas.
Yeah. And then the porks are about 2 kilos cooked, so probably feed about 10.
Yeah. So how do people get? Do they ring you up? How do they?
We've actually closed the orders because I am booked out.
Okay. You need more staff, I think.
Yeah, or bigger smokers.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah. That's been really popular. So we thought we'd offer that this time, see how it went.
And have you thought ahead to next year with Three Bears for the New Year's resolutions? What have you got planned?
We're having a month off, actually. We're having a bit of a break.
Going away anywhere?
We're going away. We're doing a bit of a road trip, which will be good. It'll be good for all of us. Just to recharge.
So you work together, then you're going to get in a car, and you must have a very strong family.
We're going to get a car and a caravan and live very closely together.
That sounds awesome. Camp out and slow cook some meat over the
possibly.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And all right, so let's come back to the Christmas market, because that's coming up. What time does it start?
So this Sunday, 4 Electra Avenue in Morwell. It's from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Special guest arriving around 1 p.m.
Yep.
Come along.
Guy in a white beard and red suit.
Yeah, red suit. Yeah, big bag over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Come along, enjoy what we have put on. Free live music, 50 plus market stalls, food, or just come out and have a chat to your friends and family.
Great atmosphere.
Great atmosphere. And the weather is looking mint, which is really good.
Well, it can never rain on a Three Bears barbecue.
No, it can just be really hot.
Well, you've had that before, haven't you?
I have.
And that's where you had the heat policy in place.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And your last bit of wisdom, let's come back to for other people wanting to do that. Obviously, there's a massive amount of self-joy, self-satisfaction, gratitude that you feel when you organise that. What your nugget of wisdom for takeaway for people that are considering doing that and that might be a little bit concerned. What does Papa Bear suggest?
Don't get scared off by the initial outlay of what you have to do and what you have to tick off, because once you get through that and you work through that, the end feeling is fantastic. Just by the response you will get back from the community.
And what about reaching out to people as well? Would it, there's obviously yourself, the council, those kind of things, but don't be afraid to reach out.
No, don't be afraid to reach out. You can reach out to us through our Facebook page. I can answer any of your questions. You've got the events team down at council. They'll help you with that on what to do and set you in the right direction. And possibly they might have what did I say earlier, an officer that can help
exactly.
guide
Support
you.
officer.
Yes, that's one.
Fantastic. Chris, thank you very much for taking the time to be on here, Business, Wealth and Mental Health. Looking forward to the market this coming Sunday, 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
10 a.m. down at 4 Electra Avenue in Morwell.
Thanks so much.